Track life.
What up, y'all? Yet another episode of Track Life Tuesdays. We are back. Hope y'all having a wonderful week, man. An amazing week, really, is what we're looking for, right? Let's jump into it real quick. The NBA awards were given out last night. It's interesting that they're doing this. I think it's a little annoying to some of us, but at the end of the day, they're trying to spread out a lot of things for the NBA, kind of give you almost a year-round NBA to where you have a bit of a break at the end of the summer, and then you get to jump in right back in with preseason. I think it's actually a good thing. At first, I was a little annoyed by the award ceremony, but now I think about it, it's more to talk about. If you're an NBA fan, it extends things. This is a little bit of a boring sports time period because baseball is early, football hasn't started yet, NBA has just ended, and I also believe that with the kind of like predictable nature of the NBA championship, it's a little difficult to get into it at the end of the day. Unless you're a fan of said team, then you're like, oh, okay, this is dope. But if you're not a fan of that team, a fan of the Golden State Warriors, or a fan of the Cleveland Cavaliers, or when the Lakers were dominating, a fan of them, or a fan of the Spurs, you might get into the Spurs because I think people think that they're all really good people, which is interesting since Tony Parker allegedly smashed his teammate's wife during the playoffs. But that's just me. I understand that fair skin is a thing that you guys are more comfortable with, so that's what happens. But I didn't want to spend too long on that. I just kind of wanted to say that, you know, I don't see any issues with anybody who won any award. I thought Kawhi Leonard was Defensive Player of the Year, but Draymond certainly deserves it. It is what it is. These awards sometimes are way off the mark and sometimes they're dead on, but they're entertaining conversation for us, and, you know, so most of the time they're pretty accurate, with the exception of the Steve Nash ones. I think both of them. Anyway, moving on. Here's an interesting thing. Social media is a big deal to all of us. It really is. All of us. A lot of us. Those of you who are watching this likely know me or have found me or found out about this due to social media. Something on Facebook led you here, or maybe our conversations prior have led you here. But some way, somehow, social media has led us to converse, sometimes led us to meet and be friends, etc. But I do have a question for those of you who are on social media, those of us who are on social media quite a bit. It's not a profound thing, but I don't believe I ever say anything profound. I think most people think they say profound things, but really you're saying things that are normal. But have you ever been convinced or changed your opinion of anything based on a social media back and forth argument with a stranger? Have you once just been like, oh, you know what? I think that guy's right. I'm gonna say you rarely ever do it. I'm gonna say that generally we argue from a position of arrogance. Even when we're asking people to be humble, we're generally kind of arrogant about it, right? Like, we know better, we know everything. It's very Pharisaic in a way when we are asking people to be humble. But at the end of the day, man, no one is convincing anybody of anything on social media. You come there with your own ideas. You have this very comfortable forum to promote those ideas because can't nobody run up on you and knock you out for saying what you say. And, you know, you're just gonna carry yourself a different way. So there's no way you're gonna be like, I think I'm wrong about this. You may sit back later if you're a reasonable person and think to yourself, yeah, I probably could alter my opinion on this, that, or the third. But the reality is, man, nobody is changing any opinions on social media about anything. Even if you're absolutely wrong, the fact that someone even questions you bothers you so much that you're going to vehemently fight being wrong before you ever say, that makes sense. You're right about that. You're just not gonna do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm the last person to sit here and tell people what to do with their social media. I think it's conversation, and you can make it different than regular life conversation if you like. You would be wrong, and that's okay. Being wrong is perfectly fine. Just know that you're wrong. People talking is what people do. If human beings didn't converse, then you would be, if social media was the first time human beings talked or got together and talked, then sure, you would be right. The social media is ruining society and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, man, people talk all the time. People have argued and debated since the beginning of time. So or since the dawn of man, or dawn of organized man, or dawn of the idea of organization, there have been debates about various things, various topics. So, you know, being sensitive to it doesn't mean that it's like a destruction of the world and society. Speaking of the destruction of the world and society, shout out to Lavar Ball being on WWE last night, or the night before last, or last night, one or the other. And just, man, look, live your life so excited and happy in front of people that it upsets them. That's a rule that I please, live your life so excited and happy in front of other people that it eventually just pisses them off. Because the dude's not doing anything to you, man. He's not doing, LeVar Ball is not doing anything to you. Nothing to you. He's not doing anything to you. The dude is literally just talking with you all over the place. It's funny because I'm always interested in people who say they hate somebody who hasn't actually committed any heinous crime. I reserve my hate for child molester. I don't hate, or try not to hate, but I reserve my deepest angst for child molesters and murderers and people who actually commit life-changing crimes against other people. I find it hard to hate somebody who dribbles a basketball the way that I don't like, or has an opinion that differs from mine. I don't know. I don't even hate internet white supremacists until they do something, but other than that, that's your opinion. You can be stupid. Be stupid. So I always think that there's something deeper. Let's go to race. You wanna go to race? Let's go to race. Here's my funny thing about LeVar Ball. I'm ready for all the disagreement too. Go ahead. So a cat on Instagram that's from my city that is aware of I'm aware of who he is and he's aware of who I am, has an opinion on LeVar Ball. We're on Instagram and I say, oh man, I like this dude. You know what I'm saying? I think having kids with a 4.0 is a wonderful thing and da-da-da-da. And he emotionally deletes my comment. Because you know, on Instagram, if you want to have a conversation, sometimes people don't tag you. So I'll go back and check and see if there was a response. So that if there's a conversation to be had, I can be involved. I go back and check and my comment's deleted. So dude deletes my comment. Here's what's funny about that. Yo, you're a Tribe Called Quest fan. Part 1. Right? So you're ingrained in the understanding of rap, talking trash, hip hop. Right? But that's neither here nor there. Come on, dog. You ain't have nothing to say about Philando Castile, though. You ain't have nothing to say when a black man gets murdered in the street. You want to cook Hawaiian food and do Hawaiian things, but ain't got nothing to say about Hawaiian sovereignty. So miss me with your little issue with LeVar Ball. All y'all, man, miss me with that. And nah, it ain't two different things because you are very willing to speak up. I see cats just NRA all day. Oh, why can I carry my, you ain't have nothing to say. Not a thing to say. Not a that was messed up. Not a I looked into it. Not a dang, man. It is kind of crazy that can it be this many black people get murdered by the police and it's not a deal. You ain't got nothing to say. But when some dude that loves his kids is aggressively and openly just boisterous and loud and funny, all of a sudden you got a problem. Miss me with that. Miss me with every single second of that. Throw all your Tribe records away. Get away from the rest in peace Phife Dawg. If you ain't got nothing to say about police brutality, then miss me with rest in peace Phife Dawg. Miss me with rest in peace Jay Dilla too, while you at it. Miss me with all of that. The pause was for a reason, because I'm looking right at you. And I'm in the city all day. If anybody wants to talk to me about it, come holler at me. I'm okay. Holler at me about it all day. But the reality is, man, don't jump around with all this nonsense about LeVar Ball and about all these miscellaneous issues. When you be running around lightweight appropriating your, anyway, dog. All right, y'all. So anyway, this is Track Like Tuesdays, man. I'm very happy to be headed out to the islands, headed to Hawaii. I'm gonna post some things about some Hawaiian artists. Hopefully I get a chance to meet up with some people. I'm kind of excited to at least explain to people who don't know about some of the DJs out in Hawaii and my man who has a hip hop radio show out there that he's been running for years out there. I'm really, really excited. I don't want to take anything from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the type of person to see a culture, enjoy a culture, and then all of a sudden want to be a part of it. I just want to expose as much of it as I can, at least from the angle that I can, which is the hip hop aspect, the rhyming aspect, the DJing aspect, the producing aspect, if I can come across any producers that I know out there or whatever that I know of. But anyway, long story short, man, I'm headed out to Hawaii. So next Trek Life Tuesday, if I can get it up, is going to be in Oahu. And hopefully I get a chance to interview somebody and post it up as well, man. So, yo, y'all have a very, very, very good week. And I will see y'all on the other side, yo. Peace.